tonight on The Final Play.
This is a collision game, so anytime we have a chance to create some collisions, that's a good thing.
Camp is in full swing, and that means contact and conflict.
There are some things I didn't like, and I think the worst thing we can do is sit and watch and tolerate something that we feel like isn't acceptable.
We're recapping the first 4 days of training camp, and we've got Deuce McAllister joining us in studio to break down what he's seen.
Tomorrow is going to be a grind. I mean, that day before you get off will be a grind.
Plus, LSU has arrived on campus, and Coach O says he's ready to embark on his first full season at the helm.
There's a lot of question marks going into camp that we got to answer.
And the remarkable story of a group of youngsters making history amid adversity. It's all on The Final Play right now.
From Fox 8 Sports, this is The Final Play, sponsored by Southern Quality Ford and Nissan, innovation that excites.
Welcome into The Final Play. I'm Juan Kincaid, and so far, no hitches in training camp. Mother Nature has cooperated, and a number of players have flourished in the Louisiana heat, but we're only 4 days in, and there's still a lot to get to and find out about this year's edition of the Black and Gold. But let's start with the last 4 days of camp. Here's Sean Vazan.
We're 4 practices into Saints Training Camp 2017. So what have we learned? One thing is that rookie Ryan Ramczyk seems up for the challenge of replacing Teron Armstead at left tackle. He's gotten the majority of the first team reps in all practices and has more than held his own.
Teron going down, obviously that's very unfortunate, but someone else has got to step up now, and I hope I can take that role, and I'm going to work hard to put myself in a position to start on day one.
Yeah, I thought he's handled himself pretty well over there. Of course, that's where he's played in college, so we'll look at the film, though, but I think, you know, overall, I'm sure there's some good things, and then I'm sure we're going to watch the things that we need to get cleaned up.
Seems to just be taking it all in stride and just kind of one step at a time, you know. I think he's got some versatility as well, you know. So, you know, so far, you know, he's just been, you know, each and every day, I think, getting better, but has been impressive, you know. But I think for any young guy, especially in the beginning of training camp, you know, there's some dog days coming up.
The linebacker battle is wide open, and the Saints have used a rotation there. The first 2 days, the first-team trio was Manti Te'o at the Mike, Stephon Anthony at the Will, and A.J. Klein at the Sam. By day 3, it was Craig Robertson in the middle, rookie Alex Anzalone at the weak side, and Klein again at the strong side. It's a rotation that's sure to remain fluid through camp.
We're a young group. I think we're a young defense as a whole, you know, so we're all just excited to get out there. We're all competitors. We're all making each other better. We're helping each other out, but you know, at the end of the day, we're here to compete, and you know, the more that we compete, the better our room gets.
At wide receiver, Corey Fuller has taken advantage of early opportunities. He's made several catches and wowed the crowd with the one-handed grab over Delvin Breaux on Saturday. He's firmly in the mix for the team's 4th wide receiver battle, along with Brandon Coleman, who's also having a good camp. But Fuller knows he still has a long way to go.
I do feel good. I mean, it builds confidence. So, I mean, I think for me, it's just continue, be consistent. That's my biggest thing. Just be consistent and try to go out here every day, get better, and make plays.
Saints players have officially entered into training camp grind mode. As cornerback Sterling Moore put it, he didn't even know today was Sunday. His sole focus is on football. With the Saints in Metairie, I'm Sean Fazand for The Final Play.
So we're 4 days into training camp. We bring out the heavy hitters early on. Former Saints running back Deuce McAllister joining us here. And so it's 4 days in. What stood out to you the most?
Well, I think, you know, overall you have to be somewhat concerned of, you know, they've been up and down. It's the up and down play. You know, I thought probably early on the defense played really well, but today offensively they looked better. You know, defensively had some spurts where they did really good. But, I mean, I think overall, you know, you wanted a little more consistently out of both units.
After 3 days of praise from head coach Sean Payton, the 4th day of practice is the longest practice, about 3 hours, because they had to do some things over.
Yeah, he wasn't happy, you know, and I don't think he was real happy yesterday with a period or two, because he's done that more than once, where he would start them over, you know, whether it's intensity, whether it's lining up wrong, or, you know, guys just making little mistakes. So it's something that they have to get cleaned up. But he's definitely sending a message to him that he will keep him out there if he needs to be.
Normally we have to wait about 2 weeks before the fights start, but it's getting a bit chippy already. Is that a good thing, or is it something that concerns you early?
Well, I don't think it concerns us. I mean, because there hadn't been any fight, so to speak. But I mean, it's the passion, it's the fire. It's hot, you know, and these guys are in pads, so, you know, they're grinding on each other. At the end of the day, they've got to take care of each other as well, you know, because they're going to need each other, depend on each other to be able to win games.
Sean Payton's made it a point to start giving some of the veteran players a day's rest. Adrian Peterson got his rest today. What have you seen from him? It seems like he looks the part, but what's your concern with him?
Well, he definitely looks the part. I mean, you don't have to worry about that. The way he trains, the way he goes in the weight room and works out. You know, the concern would be as the hits add up. You know, over the years, he's gotten a ton of carries. So they have to continue to take care of him body-wise. I mean, he's going to get hit. He's a running back. I mean, so the hits throughout the season, that's what you're concerned about. Other than that, you're fine.
We know that Mark Ingram is the #1 running back on this football team, but how might it play out if Peterson has as good or maybe a better year than expected between the whole Peterson, Mark Ingram, then throw in Alvin Kamara in there?
How many wins did they have?
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's the ultimate factor. How involved they keep all three. I think Kamara will be involved regardless of what Mark and AP does. I think, you know, the winning will cure a lot of that aspect. They both are going to want the ball, but it'll depend on the touches, when are the touches happening, you know, and if they can get early success on first down, they'll both have over, you know, 200 touches. They don't have to worry about that, but the question is, are they winning?
And how successful the running backs do will depend a lot on the offensive line, which is really pieced together right now. You got 3 new faces: Larabius, Ryan Ramczyk at left tackle, Larry Wolford, the free agent, picked up for right guard. How concerned are you that they're having to piece that area together right now?
Right now, I don't think it's too big of a concern. You know, when you talk about Larry Wolford, we hadn't even really called his name. You know, if it is, if it is, it's because he's making a block, you know, in the open field. But that's a good thing. He's pretty much fit in really well. When you talk about Ryan Ramczyk, you know, he's got to continue to play lower. You know, I think at times he gets a little high, and as he sees, you know, speed rushers, as he sees different guys, power guys, different things, I think he will, you know, adjust. And then remember, you know, this is a guy that didn't go through OTAs. He practiced a little bit during mini camp, but, you know, this is his first action in football, so I think the adjustment will be made.
What concerns you most about the defense right now? Is it trying to find someone opposite the Cam to give him a pass rush, or is it the ever-revolving door of the linebacker position?
Well, I think that linebacker position is going to revolve. You know, I think that they're going to find the best 3, you know, and best package for all of them. I think that they can do some unique things. All of them, you know, most of them can play 2 positions. Most of them can play strong or wheel or you know, throw in the mic. So you're not worried so much there because you have pretty good depth. Now, they still got to show up.
Yeah.
But I think, you know, until we see it in a game, Okafor has looked good. He's had his moments. Kakaha, you know, you still want to see him get rolled up on, not in a negative way, but, you know, that has to happen for him a little bit. So there's still probably some concern there. I mean, but I think overall they have to be pleased that those guys are out there and they're giving effort.
Deuce McAllister, our guest here on the Final Play. We'll talk Saints offense and weapons for Drew Brees with Deuce when we come back. And if you can't get enough of the black and gold, you should have our Final Play app. Everything that happens at training camp is on the Final Play app. From daily analysis and blogs to slideshows and our daily stories, it's all on the Final Play app. You can also sign up for alerts to get news and a heads up on when we're about to broadcast live. We're just getting started here on the Final Play. Coming up, there are weapons galore on this camp roster. Chris Hagan will run down Drew Brees' arsenal. And later, it's reporting time for college football teams around the boot. We'll go around the state when the Final Play continues.
The Final Play.
For those that were concerned about the trading away of Brandon Cooks, the last 2 days of camp have reminded us that with Drew Brees tossing it, everything will be just fine. Chris Hagan has more on the team going through the process of finding new weapons for number 9.
It's not often you lose a dynamic 1,000-yard receiver like Brandon Cooks and don't bat an eye. But that's how confident the Saints are in what they have at receiver year in and year out.
I feel like in the offense, you know, we have guys that can replace him. We got guys that can fill that role and perform at just as high as a level. We brought in Ted. Mike's coming into his second year. I'm coming full. B. Cole's a veteran now, so we have guys that can fill that role and we can be more effective.
And for Willie Snead in particular, this is the opportunity he's been looking for. With more targets potentially headed his way, he can almost taste his first 1,000-yard season.
The bar was set last year. And, I'm trying to push for my first 1,000 yards year. It's been 2 years in a row. I know Mike is trying to get his second in a row. And I know Ted is more than capable of getting that 1,000 yards. So, it's just coming in here, working hard every day, and just developing our game.
Playing a major role in that development is CJ. Curtis Johnson making his return to the black and gold as wide receivers coach and making his presence known from day one.
He's not going to let now one of us in that room shortchange who we are and what we're about, and I think that goes a long way.
I just think you want to be honest with him, and, I tell him I'm here to help them get better, to last as long as they can in the NFL, and then here to win the championship, here to win the Super Bowl. So, we have the same goals. So as long as we have the same goals, then I think they understand.
Ultimately, you can't really gain or get that much better from a compliment. You only could get better from what he tells me to correct. So that's the only way I'm going to take those next steps. And if I really want to take them, I got to listen to him.
It's that willingness to put in the work and take themselves to the next level that has CJ so high on all of them.
I think this group has a lot of potential. If you look at it top to bottom, you look at what Willie Snead has done and what he can do. Look at Ted Ginn with his speed. He still has his speed. You see him running. Mike is good, Brandon. And then Fuller's playing well. All those guys are playing so well right now. This can be top to bottom. This can be a good group.
But just maybe it doesn't have to be as good as the past. It's not just the wide receiver group that features a few lethal weapons. The addition of Adrian Peterson, as well as a jack of all trades in running back Alvin Kamara, could take some weight off the wideouts. And if Kobe Fleener at tight end reaches his potential, there's no reason the Saints can't once again be one of the best offenses in the NFL. Reporting in Metairie, I'm Chris Hagan for The Final Play.
All right, back inside with Deuce McAllister, and we look at the weapons for Drew Brees. Look, when they got rid of Brandon Cooks, the people are throwing up their hands, what's going to happen here? But we know that Snead and Thomas is still there. Who's that third guy to pick it up? Brandon Coleman?
I actually think it's Ted Ginn Jr.
Okay.
I think Ted Ginn Jr. will be that third guy because his ability to stretch the field, his ability to take the top off of the defense will make defense honor that speed. I think Brandon Coleman has been probably the surprise of the camp. He has showed up, had a big play every day, as far as camp is concerned. Fuller has done a really good job, and he was probably somebody that was not on the radar as far as the Saints was concerned. You have Fleener that will get more opportunities, and then I think that's where the touches for Alvin Kamara will come in, so it'll probably be about three guys that will take over those touches.
What do you want to see as we begin week 2 of training camp as we wrap up here?
I think be more consistent, be more consistent, make sure that they're raising the intensity. Tomorrow is going to be a grind. I mean, that day before you get off will be a grind. I would not be surprised if Coach Payton goes a period or two live, because he wants to get those guys going. So right now, there's nothing at the end. They still have another week before they even think about an opponent. So they just have to grind it out.
Right now, everything's bothering them.
Everything hurts.
No doubt about that. Deuce McAllister, our guest, former Saints great. We appreciate you being with us, Deuce.
No problem. Thank you.
All right. Fox 8 has all your Saints coverage leading up to the season. This Thursday night at 10:35, it's our second installment of Game Plan Training Camp as we look at Week 2 storylines and developments. Then the following Thursday, the first litmus test as the Black and Gold travel to take on the Browns in their preseason opener. Coverage starts at 6:30 on Fox 8. Coming up on The Final Play, it's time to head back to school as it's reporting day for college football teams. A stopover at LSU and Tulane are straight ahead on The Final Play.
You're watching The Final Play.
No such day of rest for our college football teams. Today was reporting day all across Louisiana. And up in Baton Rouge, this guy, head coach Ed Ogeron, begins his first full season as LSU's head coach. But the beginning comes with plenty of question marks. Here's Garland Gillen.
Lamar Jackson found out quickly in the Citrus Bowl that Arden Key is a force of nature. 2 sacks, including a safety, catapulted Key into a possible top 10 pick in the 2018 NFL Draft. Though injuries in the spring could derail that hype, and a return to the field is still a big question mark.
He's running, he's lifting. We don't know when he's going to be ready, but obviously we expect him to play this year and have a great year. We won't know until later in camp about the deadline or anything like that.
So do you think there's any chance he could be ready for the BYU game?
Don't know that there is a chance, but we don't know that yet.
On the other side of the ball, it's all about the quarterback. If Danny Etling is effective in the passing game, the Tigers will win. But he's also facing his own injury concerns.
I asked him the other day, he says, Coach, I'm about 90%. Obviously, I said it time and time again, we can't see him throw the football, but the guy says he's throwing it well. He doesn't have a lot of pain shooting down his leg. He has full rotation. He can use his hips. That's what he's telling me, so we're going to see it in camp. I expect him to have a great camp. He's a tremendous competitor.
If this offense under Matt Canada racks up big yards and points on the scoreboard, the 4- and 5-star recruits at the skill spots will be calling Baton Rouge home in 2018 and beyond.
I think it would help a lot to prove that we are going to be 50-50, to prove that we are going to throw the football, to prove that we're going to play with 3 receivers every down, sometimes 4. I think that's going to help us recruit the quarterbacks we want, especially the wide receivers that we're going after. They heard all the stories. Now we run the new offense. They need to see it. I think that's going to help us.
And if you get those recruits, fans will quit asking Coach O about being that certain school 2 states over.
Hey, man, I get Alabama stopping at the gas station or at the red light. I might be jogging down the road. There might be a construction guy call me and say, Coach, we got to beat Bama. I know.
With the Tigers, Garland Gillen for the final play.
And speaking of question marks, Uptown, Tulane also reported today. Head coach Willie Fritz has already told his players what his expectations are this season. He wants to get to a bowl game after winning just 3 games last season. Quite the high aspirations for a team that's gone bowling just twice this decade, the last time coming in 2013. But Fritz believes with the addition of transfer quarterback Jonathan Banks, the Wave can get there.
We want to get in a bowl game. You know, we had 4 games last year where we were either winning or within a touchdown going into the 4th quarter. Didn't do a very good job of finishing. We had a couple of fourths and not even 1 yard, maybe less than that. We would have converted those, but probably would have been 2 more wins for us. So we've got to do a great job of finishing, and we've got to find a way to come up with 6 wins or more this season, and then also compete for a conference championship. That's always going to be a goal of ours.
For us to just make it to the bowl, you know, that's our mindset, you know, bowl this year. That's what we're aiming for, a bowl season.
The Greenies open fall practice tomorrow morning. As for the season kickoffs, it begins in just over a month for the Colonels. They host McNeese State on August 31st. Saturday has the Lions at ULL. Southern, they're in Monroe. The Wave will welcome Grambling to town, and LSU on the road in Houston to face BYU. Coming up, making history where baseball's history is celebrated.
Watching the final play.
Finally tonight, every year, teams from all over the country ascend on Cooperstown, New York to play a game that's celebrated year-round in this small northeast town. This year, the tournament crowned its first champion from New Orleans. But this team's success didn't come without having to overcome some adversity along the way. Over the weekend, a first for New Orleans happened some 1,400 miles away. At the birthplace for baseball, these future stars of the game were the biggest stars in Cooperstown.
Pretty awesome. Their first time ever winning. Crazy. That's Carolton for Cooperstown.
I knew we were going to go in as a force, but I didn't think we were going to do that good.
Not only did the Carolton 12s become the first New Orleans team to win the title, they never lost a game.
No doubt there's surprise that we were as dominant as we were.
Well, we started to get confidence.
Confident in ourselves.
We started competing much better.
The 12s raised their game to a level that was unmatched the entire week.
Let's go!
They smashed 45 home runs, looking like big leaguers hitting in a little league park. They didn't lose a single preliminary game.
My God!
A perfect 6-0. So, of course, the talk then was maybe we can win it all. But it was during the early part of this tournament, at the beginning of the elimination round, when things took an unexpected turn for Carolton. The man that had gotten them this far, head coach M.H. Phillips, all of a sudden had to leave.
It was very we had no idea that was coming. And so we were bad for Coach. But we knew that family was first, and he had to do it.
We understood.
Guys, unfortunately tonight I may have to head back to New Orleans. We've got an issue in the family. My father is ill right now. Took a little turn for the worse.
12-year-olds coming to grips with life's tougher moments. It's certainly not the way MH would have liked to get his point across on how to deal with adversity, something he often touches on with his players. But getting the news of his father's deteriorating health turned out to be his ultimate teaching moment.
He was having shortness of breath, and they took him into the emergency room. And everything was going well. On Tuesday, they were going to do an angiogram. But on Tuesday, they detected that he had pneumonia. So I got a call early in the morning that he had kind of taken a turn for the worse. And, I just felt like at that point, the decision was I needed to come home.
I was asking my son, what he thought about it and what made the difference. And he said that he wasn't surprised that MH did what he needed to do in terms of going to be with his dad, because that's the way MH is. He's got his priorities in place.
And for nearly 4 decades, one of his priorities has been making sure his players are prepared.
The main thing is I want you guys focused, making sure that you're ready to go tonight, and making sure that you guys are going to have some fun.
Once he decided to go back home, he quickly realized just how ready for this moment they were.
He was trying to make sure we stayed focused even though he wasn't there. We played the same, as if he was there. Just don't think about it. And
just play the Carolton way.
The Carolton way? What's the Carolton way?
Just respecting the game and playing good baseball.
1, 2, 3, Carolton!
So from that moment on, whenever the Carolton 12 stepped foot on the diamond, they took their head coach with them, drawing his name in the sand before every game, making sure he knew that he was still a part of this magical ride.
It was important, and it reminded us that we got to think about him when we're playing. Play our hardest.
Well, it means a lot, obviously. It means that they're thinking about me. It also means to me that they're focused and they're prepared and they're ready to go with it. So, yeah, it was special.
And with Coach following their every move from Louisiana, his kids made history in a town where America's pastime is celebrated year-round. But on this night, these boys of summer had the stage all to themselves. The Carolton 12s weren't the first Louisiana team to win in Cooperstown. That honor goes to the 2013 edition of the LBA Nationals out of Gray, Louisiana. Congratulations to both teams. And that's our show for tonight. For all of us here at Fox 8, I'm Juan Kincaid. We hope you'll join us again next Sunday night for the final play.
From Fox 8 Sports, this has been The Final Play, sponsored by Southern Quality Ford and Nissan, innovation that excites.